We don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to scare anybody.
The number of teenagers murdered with a knife in London is on the rise. 17 teenagers have been murdered this year alone. The Metropolitan Police says we are now on track for the highest number of deaths in over a decade.
When I first started attending, I would say I definitely had severe mental health problems that I hadn't really wrapped my head around, so there was a lot of confusion. I had problems going on at home with my mum, so I came here a lot to escape from going straight home.
Nika! Nika!
Yeah, Ma?
How many times have I told you about wasting food? I've got no fucking money. I've been made redundant because of the stupid pandemic. Why don't you go get a fucking job and pay for some of these bills around here? I can't believe this. I made this application weeks ago and now you're telling me that it's still not fine, it's still not done. What am I supposed to do? I've got rent to pay, I've got bills to pay, I've got a daughter who's in sixth form. Hello? Hello? Did they just hang up on me?
You right, Mum?
Please leave me alone, Nika. Just get out of my sight.
Society definitely plays quite a big part in some of the struggles that young people face. Social media definitely puts a lot into perspective for young people and kind of gives them false ideas of what like your life should be like.
From this week, we're going to look at the structure of your business. So we're going to look at how you organise your talent and your assets. If you could, can you just write down for me what you think 5 different talents and 5 different assets are, please? Mika. Hi, kind of you to join us. Nothing? No explanation, nothing. So I've got nothing from Mika this morning so far. Let's try Zara. What have you put down as assets here?
I've got down baker, barista.
Which one of these is you?
The baker.
Okay. And I want you to just point out that some of your biggest assets to your own business is you yourself and what you can put into it. Mika, any idea?
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You need to start taking your life and what we're doing here more seriously.
Why don't you go and get a fucking job and pay for some of these bills around here? Just get out of my sight.
You need to start taking your life and what we're doing here more seriously.
I used to be a teacher and I found that there were many kids who were struggling. even though in school they were struggling academically, there was more behind. And so when I found this role as a youth worker, it was perfect because as a teacher, I found it very limiting of reaching out to them, because once they go home, I don't see them again. I don't know what's going on in their home lives, and most of them bring that to school. As a youth worker, I saw the other side. So now I have the perspective of a teacher and as a youth worker, that the way they were acting at school is because at home maybe their family's unstable.
Just get out of my sight.
Maybe they haven't got any love at home. A parent that isn't showing care for them, struggling outside, and they're not sure of who they are.
When you feel young and vulnerable, you kind of want someone to be able to turn to you and say like, okay, so this is how you're feeling, where you can kind of have like that tick in your brain where you're like, yeah, okay, I am feeling like isolated or I am struggling. But when you're mixed up in it, you don't know how you're feeling.
This work as a youth worker is so essential because during this time, they are very confused. You know, they don't know who they are, they're forming themselves, and they need a lot of support, especially if they don't have it from home or they don't feel like they're getting enough of it. This work is essential because at that age, I was also confused. I wish I had the same support that, you know, they can have now. As a friend, it's not a thing where they feel like somebody's on them. They feel like as a youth worker, the youth worker is their friend. That's all they need, support, love, because they're in charge of their own lives. We can only support them, we don't have their solutions, but we want them to be the best people that they can be.
How do you think coming here impacted your life?
I would say it definitely built up confidence for me. I was able to create relationships which I wasn't able to do before because I was so guarded. I was able to speak openly about like my mental health and the struggles that I was dealing with at the time, and I started doing an apprenticeship here, which I mean was pretty great, and I've now worked here for 4 years, so I now get to kind of make the same impact on young people that you guys made on me. The winch helped mostly just by allowing me to be myself. There was literally no pressure for me to be someone else. There were so many different people from so many different walks of life. There was no judgment from anyone, like young people and staff, which was a different environment to school. I think winch has helped kids in like their growth just by allowing them to be themselves, not putting pressure on them, you know, creating that safe space and a comfortable environment for them to come and just be free, build those relationships, have those open conversations, because they feel like it's genuine enough where they can open up and be real. And I think that's all they just need to keep doing, is just following that plan of allowing every child to be themselves in a comfortable space. I think body image, racial injustice, I think gender inequality, mental health. I think the way it can be tackled is having places like the winch where like they're youth workers, various of ages, where you're able to build relationships, friendships, create safe spaces for kids, basically give them the opportunity to do like what they want to do without the pressure of society or other peers.